Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back. In this video, we are looking at the NFL final look picks for Week 15. A couple games postponed, so we're looking at a smaller slate, and some other players out due to the COVID protocols, some injuries. So a lot to discuss. Still have a lot of money up for grabs across the sites. So let's get into it. As always, if you enjoyed the videos, appreciate it for the like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. If you want to follow me on Twitter, Prize Picks code, the website, all that is in the description. Looking at the quarterback plays for tomorrow, we have a few at the top. Josh Allen, Kyler Murray, they give you big upside. Aaron Rodgers been in the case for MVP this year. He's been arguably the best quarterback just in terms of 27 touchdowns, not giving up mistakes, giving his team best chances to win. Has multiple games of 4+ touchdowns. So Rodgers is in the mix, although Baltimore, not like the best matchup. They are still decent defensively, much better than like the Lions and than the Panthers, although the Panthers have been decent this year defensively, but their season is kind of over at this point. In the mid-range, you're looking at Dak Prescott. He looks pretty appealing at 65. And then at the bottom, you're looking at Tua at 57. The Dolphins are rolling right now. They probably will continue rolling against the Jets at home. Tua looks appealing, although you won't have his main weapon in Jalen Waddle. And I would say that you can look to potentially Jimmy Garoppolo. And that is it for me. There's not a ton. I will probably be able to pay up for some of these guys at the top end. Josh Allen, Kyler Murray, just because there's so much value at running back, at wide receiver. So give me Kyler Murray for $200 less. At running back, we have only a couple of pieces at the top. You have Najee Harris and Elliott. Elliott was probably going to get more work last week, but he only had 12 carries on the ground and only caught 1 of 6 targets. So at least the targets were there. He was on the field more, but without Tony Pollard. Pollard is questionable. If he plays, then I still don't think that Zeke will get you a ton of work. Probably like at least a 50-50 share or like a 60-40 split because Pollard has been better than Zeke all year. Joe Mixon, $7,200 going into Denver. Their defense is solid. This one is most likely not going to be a shootout type of game. So I will be passing on that in like a one lineup build, passing on Joe Mixon. I like some of the guys in the 6K range, like Patterson at $6,900 looks appealing. Aaron Jones at his discounted price tag is appealing. And then even like Saquon Barkley, even though the matchup isn't the best, but you're getting a very good price tag on him at $6,500. He's getting you 19 touches last week, 17 the week before, 17. Still getting 15 to 20 touches. The matchup is decent. Going up against the Cowboys, they're at home. He can get you some check down passes, so hopefully they can at least move the ball a little bit and give him a shot or two for the end zone. James Conner is questionable. We'll see. They said that they are getting Chase Edmonds back, so that would make an impact. If Conner is not able to play, you definitely want to take some stabs at Chase Edmonds. No Swift, no Mitchell. Both Javonte Williams and Melvin Gordon are questionable. If one of those two are out, I would definitely look to play the other one because they've been splitting work all year. We saw when Melvin Gordon was out that Javonte Williams became the lead back, and nobody really, Mike Boone got some snaps, but he got 29 touches against the Chiefs. I would expect, if one of these two misses, just the other guy to absorb 90% of the volume. In the 5K range, you have Gaskin, 56, gets a great matchup against the Jets. But this one, I would have to say that Robinson, he's going to be very popular this week, but there's a lot of good reason. There's no Urban Meyer. Thank God. Urban Meyer does not know how to coach in the NFL. Weeks that Robinson was playing very well, he would just go away from him for no reason at all. Just seems to have grudges against players. But the first time he fumbled this year, he got benched. Fumbled another time, he got benched. But Hyde fumbles and he's fine. But the interim coach already said that Robinson is going to be used like their number one running back. So expect him to get you a ton of work on the ground, get you some targets. The matchup is amazing against the Texans. And another running back, you could look to Jeff Wilson, but he hasn't really come through even when they've been missing. Like Eli Mitchell. He's still getting you some work, but he's not getting you targets out of the backfield. And even in goal line situations, they've been kind of just leaning to go with Deebo Samuel over him. So he's still in play, but I think you might look to like Michael Carter at 47, who's back, activated. They said he's going to have a significant role. They didn't get much production out of like Ty Johnson, out of Tevin Coleman. And yeah, so I would expect Carter to get most of the first and second down work, even some third down work. If the game is close, he probably will be out there for in the fourth quarter. I expect the Dolphins to win easily, but hopefully the Jets are still in the game, that they don't have to bench or like sit the starters. At wide receiver, you're looking at Davante Adams. He's the best wide receiver on the slate. You don't have Cooper Kupp now. That game is moved to Tuesday, so play Davante Adams. You can play Debo if you wanted to. Kyler Murray, you can pair him with Chris Kirk in the mid-range, because there is no DeAndre Hopkins, who's on IR and he's going to miss most likely the rest of the year. But I'm going to go with Stephon Diggs right now at 77. I expect the Bills to put a bit of a hurting on the Panthers. They were like 10.5 point favorites last time I checked. I expect them to cover that spread. And Stephon Diggs, couple of tough matchups. Just tough games. That one against New England, you can kind of chalk that up. But he's been better recently. He's getting into the end zone more often. This one, I expect them to still put up the points, although the Panthers have been good against the pass. All the Bills do is pass the football. They don't really like to run at all. So Stephon Diggs at a good price tag. I think he might get overlooked compared to like Debo. And I think people might go to Deontay Johnson, just seeing that big 31 next to his name. But I like Deontay Johnson. He's just peppered with targets every single week from Ben Roethlisberger. But his price tag has kind of gone up now, and like Diggs has kind of been similar or has kind of come down recently. We don't have Jalen Waddle. It was not activated. So yeah, it doesn't look like he's going to play. So yeah, he's out for this week. That's going to make Devontae Parker become the lead wide receiver, and you're getting him at $4,300, which is a steal. In his return last week, he put up 5 catches on 5 targets, 62 yards. The only concern you have with a guy like Devontae Parker is leaving the game with an injury. He's done that many, many times throughout his career. He's done that a bunch of times already this year. But hopefully he's healthy. And if he is healthy, which I hope that he is, going up against the Jets, very good matchup there. And then the last piece I'm going to plug in is the mid-range. Kyler Murray, compare him with, last week it was AJ Green that had a big performance. But for the season, the most consistent guy, even when Hopkins has been in at times, has been Chris Kirk, and you're getting him at only $5,300. I think he's a great pairing. The matchup is amazing. Looking at probably 6 to 8, maybe get close to 10 targets. Gives you some big play upside, and the matchup is solid. Can't, against this very bad Lions defense, expect them to put up the points. So I'm not really worried about with the limited games we have, with some of these games being canceled. Even though this game might be turn into a blowout, just give me Kyler Murray, Chris Kirk stacks all day. I would also go with Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs stacks. You can plug in Aaron Rodgers, Davante Adams stacks. Deebo Samuel, pair him with Garoppolo if you wanted to. But you can even play Deebo Samuel by himself, because he's a running back as well. Other plays, I would say, in like the 5 to 4K range, if you're looking for some, would be like Julio Jones, 54. You have a very discounted price tag on Courtland Sutton, although he hasn't been producing. I would maybe take some stabs in tournaments with Sutton. You have Crowder at a decent price tag at $5,000. 2 terrible teams, but that might be one that's good for fantasy, because there's just not that many great spots on the slate. And you also have a guy like Sterling Shepard that's able to suit up at 47. They don't have Tony, and Galladay he's playing, but he hasn't been very good at all this year. Terrible signing. Tight end plays. Kittle has been a monster the last couple of weeks. 13 grabs, 9 grabs a week before, 3 total touchdowns. Easily a great play this week if you wanted to play him against Atlanta. If you need some cheaper tight ends, look to Dawson Knox. Look to Mike Gesicki. Gesicki looks better without Waddle. More targets for him. At the bottom, you have like CJ Uzomah, some decent upside there, but I just like getting to the guys in the 5K and above range. You do have a lot of value at wide receiver, at running back. And defenses, the cheapest defense I'm kind of thinking about going with would be the Jags, just going up against the Texans at home. I think they will win the game. Maybe they can force some turnovers, although Mills looked pretty good last week. Another good cheap defense, I would say, he's mid-range, would be the Bills at 31. The Panthers are cooked. Cam Newton's turning the ball over at a high clip. Chance for them to maybe take one to the house, get some sacks, if possible. And then if you're pay up for the Cardinals. They are the best overall, best overall matchup. Cowboys also against Mike Glennon look appealing there. So that's about it for the video. At least for the DraftKings side. FanDuel is very, very similar in terms of the plays I'm targeting, but go ahead and plug them in over there. So FanDuel quarterback plays, still looking at one of the two top-end guys, Kyler Murray or Josh Allen. FanDuel flipped the price tags on them, so I would probably slightly prefer Josh Allen over Kyler Murray, just giving it $100 cheaper. Rodgers still looks great at 76. Like Rodgers and Dak more than Tua, who's way more expensive on FanDuel. And I probably don't need to go all the way down here, so I just probably won't. At running back, we have Harris is very expensive. Mixon is expensive as well. Another spot where I think we can go with the mid-range, 7K range, you do have Jones and Barkley that are in play. Jones still probably going to be splitting some work with Dillon, but he still gives you big touchdown upside. I like Patterson at 7,000. One of Javonte Williams, Melvin Gordon if the other one is out. But we're still getting great price tags on Zeke Elliott if Tony Pollard isn't able to play, but give me James Robinson at 63. And I will go with Michael Carter at 59. Wide receiver, same type of deal. Josh Allen, pair him with Stephon Diggs. Still like Devontae Adams there as well. I would probably rate it. If the pricing was all the same, it would be Adams, Diggs, Debo. But based on the pricing, I like Diggs, then Devontae Adams, then Debo. Mid-range, you have Deontay Johnson. This looks pretty solid. For the value picks, 6K and the 5K range. Chris Kirk at 6,000. Still a guy I want to get to. Expect him to command a good amount of targets from Kyler Murray. Good chance to maybe get one into the end zone just with how bad Detroit is and how many points they give up. And I like Devontae Parker as well. Going to be the lead wide receiver for the Dolphins against the Jets. Great matchup. They're rolling right now, and Tua seems to just lock in on one guy. So he's been locking in on Jalen Waddle. Hopefully this time he locks in on Devontae Parker. And that's it. You have some guys in the low 5K or the 4K range that you can maybe take a shot on. But in terms of just like a cash lineup, I think Devontae Parker or Chris Kirk are your best cheap plays. Tight end, get up to Kittle if you wanted to. I like Kittle more than Andrews. I like Dawson Knox and Mike Gesicki in the mid-range. 5K range, you have Kyle Pitts, Schultz. That's two reasonable options. And that's it. And then defenses, still like the Cardinals at their price tag. I like the Bills. They look better on DraftKings, but they're still solid on FanDuel. They're just more expensive. But I like the Cardinals is probably the best, then the Dolphins and the Bills. Although I'm playing Michael Carter, so I probably wouldn't play the Dolphins defense with him. So give me the Bills and the Cardinals over the Dolphins. And for the cheapest defense to potentially take a shot with, could be the Bengals at 34, if they're down both of the running backs. But I would probably say that you're looking at see what the price tag on the Jags is. They're 36, so that might be the cheapest defense. But you have a lot of value, so I'll probably end up paying up for the Bills or the Cardinals or even the Cowboys. So that's about it for the video. Thank you for watching. It's a crazy slate. It's been a crazy last few days in the sports world with NBA and NFL. But best of luck. Who knows how much longer we'll have it with all these guys being out. Hopefully things go back to normal soon. And I'll see you all next time.